Tonight, the breaking news as we come on, the emergency playing out right now in parts of the east and the mid-Atlantic. A flash flood emergency unfolding as we come on the air. Cars floating away outside an elementary school. The children inside the school had to be rescued. Evacuations underway at this hour. Millions of Americans on alert right now as this storm moves up the east coast into the northeast tonight. Ginger Z standing by with the forecast. Inside the hearing tonight, Lyle and Eric Menendez, after more than 35 years behind bars, the brothers making their case to be resentenced. Also breaking tonight, the star witness taking the stand in the Sean Combs trial, his ex-girlfriend breaking down while testifying. She says Combs hiring others and what the girlfriend alleges she was expected to do. Aaron Katersky was in the courtroom. Overseas tonight, President Trump getting the royal treatment in Saudi Arabia. Fighter jets escorting Air Force One. The Crown Prince rolling out the lavender carpet. The president praising Saudi investments in the U.S. amid questions tonight about the Trump family working right now on business interests of their own in the same countries the president is now visiting.
Trump Tower, Jeddah.
And President Trump saying today, "Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince." Mary Bruce traveling with the president. Tonight, Kim Kardashian's chilling testimony describing the night she was bound, gagged, and robbed at gunpoint by masked men. The images coming in here, firefighters still on the scene right now, the major fire burning, forcing evacuations, and the new concern now as we come on tonight. This evening, the late Pete Rose reinstated. Major League Baseball's historic decision now, and what this now means. And tonight, Robin Roberts is here. You'll meet her siblings, what they've now done to honor their mother, what she always said about the children. It might leave you singing too.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin tonight with breaking news. The evacuations at this hour, the emergency unfolding right now, a flash flood emergency in parts of the east and the mid-Atlantic. Take a look. Heavy rain up to 2 inches an hour, sending rushing water through Allegheny County. This is western Maryland right here. Video from an elementary school in Westernport, Maryland, showing cars and a dumpster being lifted up by the rushing waters, floating away. Children inside the school had to be rescued late today. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z with the forecast and the images coming in right now as this system now pushes up the east coast and into the northeast. Ginger, leading us off.
Tonight, a flash flood emergency rapidly unfolding in the mid-Atlantic. Slow-moving storms dumping up to 2 inches of rain per hour in parts of Maryland. Southwest of Cumberland, this video from Westernport Elementary School shows cars, even a dumpster, bobbing in the water. Students inside had to be rescued. The same system flooding parts of Florida Monday, spawning this massive waterspout on a lake near Orlando. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, hotshot crews from as far away as Montana, Utah, and Tennessee coming in to help fight multiple major wildfires. North of Duluth, the Camp House fire burning more than 18 square miles.
Zero containment, and we've lost about 40 plus structures, homes, and cabins.
Michaela Schleep, one of many forced to flee and now wait.
We put every nail in that house. We painted every wall. We did it from the ground up, and just to know it might be gone is so scary.
Not far from there, chopper pilot Earl Waters shooting this video of his water drops over the Jenkins Creek fire. It broke out Monday, exploding to more than 10 square miles. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz calling up the National Guard to help.
Country of real extremes tonight. Ginger, back to this flash flood emergency playing out as we're on tonight. This system still at work?
Yes, 2 to 5 inches, David, has already fallen in parts of the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia or in the Potomac Highlands of West Virginia. And so that's why you see that flood warning kind of clustered there. But flood watches all the way down still to New Bern, North Carolina. This system is going to twist up the East Coast as we head through tonight. We kind of forecast it here for central New Jersey heaviest back to parts of Pennsylvania at 7 a.m. tomorrow. We time it out through the afternoon. New York City gets it. And then we will be drying out, much more scattered in nature on Thursday. Total opposite end of the spectrum is back in the northern plains. International Falls, Minnesota was 96 on Sunday, their hottest May temperature on record. Combine that with relative humidity as low as 15%, gusts up to 50, big time heat. And speaking of hottest May temps, you could do it tomorrow, David, Austin and San Antonio.
Yeah, we're dealing with fire danger very early in the season. Ginger Z leading us off tonight. Ginger, thank you. We turn now to the Menendez brothers, and after more than 35 years behind bars, they're now making their case to be resentenced, to be freed. What played out at today's hearing? Matt Gutman was in court in Los Angeles.
Tonight, a bombshell decision in the case of the Menendez brothers. The judge resentencing the brothers to 50 years to life for the shotgun murders of their parents 35 years ago. That move vacating their sentence of life without the possibility of parole and makes them eligible for parole, but it's a process that could take months or even years.
He sentenced them to 50 to life, which means they're immediately eligible. All bets are still on. The resentencing has happened.
The judge's ruling coming immediately after the brothers, connected by video link from prison, read statements taking full responsibility for the murders, their lies after the murders, the pain they've caused their family, and calling the crimes an atrocious act for which they feel permanent shame. Menendez family members and even visitors weeping in court, dabbing their faces with tissues as the brothers read those statements. Earlier, the family making their case to the judge. Cousin Anna Maria Barral testifying they are universally forgiven by our family.
You have brought hope to this family that we didn't see coming.
And so, David, there are now two pathways for a possible release for the brothers. The first is parole, for which they became eligible today. The second is clemency, and that rests with Governor Gavin Newsom, and the brothers have a hearing for that on June 13th. David.
Matt Gutman live in Los Angeles tonight. Matt, thank you. We turn next tonight to the explosive testimony in the Sean Combs trial. The star witness testifying, his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, seen this morning on her way to court. Tonight, hear her emotional testimony saying Sean Combs hired others for drug-fueled encounters and that she feared he would be violent if she refused. Prosecutors say this video from 2016 shows his ex-girlfriend trying to escape one of those encounters, Combs knocking her to the floor and kicking her. ABC's chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky was in the courtroom today, in a warning tonight. Some of the testimony is difficult.
In a day of graphic and emotional testimony, the star witness, Cassie Ventura, telling the jury how her relationship with Sean Combs quickly became a blur of jealousy, violence, and degrading, unwanted sex. Ventura sobbing on the witness stand as she described marathon drug-fueled sex performances with male prostitutes. "I just remember my stomach falling, just the nervousness," she said. "I think I was 22 at the time." Ventura was a young singer and model. Combs was pushing 40 and had signed her to a long-term deal with Bad Boy Records. Ventura said Combs proposed this sexual encounter that he called voyeurism, where he would watch her having sex with other men. She took drugs, she said Combs supplied beforehand. "I couldn't imagine doing all of that without some sort of buffer or a way not to feel it. Sex with a stranger I didn't want to be having sex with." Soon, she said, these so-called freak-offs happened weekly. Combs demanding them so often it stifled her music career and became her full-time job. They lasted 2, 3, sometimes 4 days. Pretty quickly over time, I knew it wasn't something I wanted to be doing, especially how frequently. But I was in love and wanting to make him happy. She claims she felt pressured to participate. "I didn't feel like I had much of a choice. And if she refused," she said, Combs would be violent with me. Her voice softer when she described things too graphic for broadcast. She recalled encounters at nearly every one of Combs's homes and at hotels across the country and overseas. Many of the sessions photographed and filmed. Federal agents seizing phones and computers containing videos from the music mogul's estates. Ventura called them blackmail materials that Combs held over her head. During trial, prosecutors said this video shows Ventura trying to escape one of the encounters. Combs seen chasing her down a Los Angeles hotel hallway in 2016, knocking her to the floor and stomping on her. Ventura telling the jury he would bash my head, knock me over, drag me, kick me, stomp me in the head when I was down. When the prosecutor asked, "How frequently was Sean physical with you during your relationship?" Ventura responded, "Too frequently." His attorneys acknowledged, David, that Combs and his ex had a toxic, violent relationship, but they say that's not the same thing as sex trafficking or racketeering, which Combs denies. The defense called Cassie a capable, strong adult woman who made a free choice. And, David, she'll be right back here on the witness stand tomorrow. David?
Aaron Katersky live here in New York tonight. Aaron, thank you. Next tonight to President Trump in Saudi Arabia, getting a royal welcome there. The Crown Prince rolling out the lavender carpet. The president praising Saudi investments in the U.S., but there are questions tonight about the Trump family working right now on business interests of their own in the same countries President Trump is now visiting. Mary Bruce traveling with the president. She's in Riyadh tonight.
Tonight, Saudi Arabia with a lavish welcome for President Trump. Fighter jets escorting Air Force One into Riyadh. The Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman rolling out the lavender carpet.
It's an honor to be you, my friend, and you've had a tremendous relationship over the years.
Joining Trump, leaders of some of the world's most powerful companies, from IBM to Google and Elon Musk. The president touting $600 billion in Saudi investments in the U.S.
So exciting. So exciting. Mohammed, you sleep at night? How do you sleep? Huh? Just thinking. Critics doubted that it was possible what you've done, but over the past 8 years, Saudi Arabia has proved the critics totally wrong.
Hanging over the trip, serious questions about Trump's own business interests. His sons, who now run the Trump Organization, have projects in the works in all 3 countries the president is visiting.
Trump Tower, Jeddah. Coming soon.
Today, Trump announcing that at the Saudi Crown Prince's request, he will lift U.S. sanctions on Syria, now that the Assad regime has crumbled and a new government is in place.
I will be ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria in order to give them a chance at greatness.
The president then saying, "Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince."
Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince.
Trump also extending an olive branch to Iran.
I have never believed in having permanent enemies.
Appearing to lay out a foreign policy approach based on whether you can make a deal, regardless of past history. From embracing the Saudi Crown Prince years after U.S. intelligence concluded he orchestrated the murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, to forging ties with Russia's Vladimir Putin.
Far too many American presidents have been afflicted with the notion that it's our job to look into the souls of foreign leaders and use U.S. policy to dispense justice for their sins.
Now tomorrow, the president heads to Qatar, where the royal family has offered to gift him a $400 million luxury jet to be used as Air Force One before being transferred to his presidential library. Tonight, Democrats and even some members of the president's own party are raising serious questions about conflicts of interest and whether such a gift would be safe or legal. David.
Mary Bruce in Saudi Arabia for us. Mary, thank you. Now to the stunning reversal tonight from Major League Baseball, reinstating the late Pete Rose after being kicked out for betting on games, including his own team. What he once told our Charlie Gibson and what this now means when it comes to the Hall of Fame. Here's Will Reeve.
He was banned from the game for life. But tonight, in an historic decision, Major League Baseball reinstating all-time hits leader Pete Rose. Rose, who died last year, was barred from the sport in 1989 after an investigation found that he had bet on games as the manager of the Cincinnati Reds. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred saying, "Obviously, a person no longer with us cannot represent a threat to the integrity of the game." The former Rookie of the Year, MVP, and 3-time World Series champion denied the allegations for years before opening up to ABC's Charlie Gibson.
Did you bet on baseball?
Yes, I did, and that was my mistake, not coming clean a lot earlier.
The scandal has kept him from being inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame. Today's move now makes him eligible for election. The Hall of Fame saying in a statement, "The decision to remove deceased individuals from the permanently ineligible list will allow for the Hall of Fame candidacy of such individuals to now be considered." Fans of the Reds celebrating the news.
He built the Reds. This is his ballpark.
Now, David, this ruling doesn't just put Rose into the Hall of Fame. He would still need to get approval from a baseball committee, and the earliest he could enter the Hall would be in 2028. David. Really
major development tonight. Will Reeve, Will, thank you. Tonight, the Trump administration has reversed the firing of more than 100 federal workers at an agency that had served West Virginia coal miners, helping to protect them from black lung disease. It comes after political pressure and a series of ABC News reports. Correspondent Jay O'Brien met with miners after the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health was virtually wiped out.
They take away the people that were watching over us, taking care of, they taking their jobs. We got nobody.
That's it. No.
Even after they got those initial layoff notices, those former federal workers fought to save the agency. And tonight, many of them tell us they've been called back to work to now help those coal miners again. To the economy tonight, inflation falling to a 4-year low. Consumer prices rose 2.3% in April year over year, still rising, but better than expected. Economists say the effects of the president's new tariffs still not fully factored in. When we come back tonight, the stunning testimony here, Kim Kardashian taking the stand, describing the night she was bound, gagged, and robbed at gunpoint by by masked men. Also, the American college student on a senior class trip and the deadly fall from a balcony. And tonight, the images coming in here. This is here in the east, the massive fire forcing evacuations. Firefighters still on the scene. And there's a new concern at this hour. We'll have more on this in a moment. Tonight in Baltimore, a massive warehouse fire leading to evacuations and disrupting Amtrak and commuter train service. The 7-alarm fire beginning to burn overnight. Firefighters are still on the scene. They say it's still burning. Dozens have been evacuated. Authorities are now concerned tonight the warehouse could collapse right onto the train tracks. Tonight, Kim Kardashian's chilling testimony about being bound, gagged, and held at gunpoint when masked men burst into her hotel room in Paris. Kardashian in Paris today facing the suspects in court. They're accused of stealing more than $6 million in jewelry during the heist in 2016. She told the court today she absolutely thought she was going to die. When we come back tonight, the American college student on a senior trip and the deadly fall from a balcony. And Robin Roberts is here tonight. You're going to meet her siblings right here and what they've done in honor of their mother. She'd be singing about this. To the index of other news tonight, authorities say an American college student was killed after a deadly fall from a resort balcony on Paradise Island in the Bahamas. The student from Bentley University in Waltham, Massachusetts, police say he was on a senior class trip when it appears he accidentally fell with roommates nearby. Well, tonight it's official, and it's a huge blow for the Boston Celtics. Star forward Jayson Tatum is out of the playoffs. He ruptured his right Achilles tendon during last night's loss to the Knicks. The Knicks now lead the Celtics 3-1 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. That's a big loss. When we come back here tonight, Robin Roberts is here. You'll meet her siblings, what they've done tonight, a way to honor their mother, and what she always said about children. Finally tonight here, America Strong. Our Robin Roberts right here with two of her siblings and the new children's book honoring their mother. She'd be singing about this.
Oh my goodness. A new children's book is out based on my dear mother's childhood and her love for music.
We grew up with music in our household. You brought me through. Every time Mom came home, whatever mood she was in, happy, sad, or whatever, she'd sit at that piano and she would just play and sing.
Lucy Sings on Lucy Street tells a story of resilience and hope, an idea my siblings brought to life. Written by Lawrence Roberts and Sally Ann Roberts. Oh, look at Mama. Look at her. Lawrence, who we call Butch, and Sally Ann, compiling stories our mother Lucy Marion shared about her life as a young girl in Akron, Ohio.
Mom shared a story with me. They were having their meager meal in the basement, and Mom pipes up and says, I have a little song in my heart and I'm going to sing it. And her father says, not at this table, Lucy Marion, we don't sing at the table. So she dutifully ate her food as quickly as she could, and then she asked to be excused, and she ran up the basement stairs and she sang, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And it brightened everyone in the room, and it changed her life.
In the book, 8-year-old Lucy uses music as a way to uplift during tough times.
Music's a universal language, and that's the one thing that Mom was able to do, is to bring that spirit out.
The picture book, set in 1932 during the Great Depression, also shares realities our mother faced growing up. Mama is a young girl. She sees her neighbors, and they innocently say to her, can you wash the color? Because they had not seen someone who looked like Mama. And Mama laughs it off and says, can you wash off the freckles?
Yes. She also found a way to build bridges with people.
Yeah. Mama always believing and fostering children's strengths.
I never heard her say, oh, that's not a bad idea. I don't think you ought to do that. Never heard that. Always heard encouragement.
Every child has a gift. Your gift may not be singing, but whatever your gift is, as Mom said, discover your gift and share it. Share it.
Lucy Sings on Lucy Street. We love that family. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.